I'm Jill.
And I'm Kayla.
And we are...
I Wanna Wear Your Skin!
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. We want to give a special shout out to our Patreon subscribers first and foremost.
Yes.
Because you all are very patient with us and our weird schedules that never align barely ever.
Ever with other normal human beings.
So, Leslie... We love you.
Oh, you're an angel, Leslie. A beautiful angel.
Brian, also a beautiful angel that we love.
Beautiful angel.
Cass, a beautiful devil angel.
I was just a beautiful demon, but yeah, devil angel's good. Yeah, that's good.
And Boots.
I mean, we don't know who you are, Boots, but
I bet you're a beautiful devil angel.
But we assume that you're a beautiful devil angel along with us.
And you know, like, not just like any devil angel, but you remember those, what were they? Like, they were, like, internet paper doll kind of things that you, like, changed the outfits on, and they all were in the same pose.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about, because I collected all the goth ones of them.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. I got a lot of Jinko Jeans ones.
Holy fucking shit, how can I not remember what they're called?
Think of it.
But they were, like, a huge front. Like, I would print them out on paper, and I would bring them to school, and when I got a color printer, it was, like, a game changer.
Yep.
And that's when I really just went off the deep end with them.
Printing.
Yes, but they were like the OG emojis, and they were like people.
Yeah.
Remember? And there would be like couples and singles and babies and.
So anyway, you're one of those except a devil angel.
Yeah, I guess I'll print you out in a Word document, and I will forward you them to friends in my instant messenger
through Yahoo.com.
Yahoo.com.
Anyway, so what we do and what people are paying us for.
Oh, God, yes. If this is your first time tuning in, hello.
We watch Lifetime movies.
Yes, we do.
And drink a variety of beverages.
Always.
And then we talk shit about them because...
Because why not? Also, sometimes I'm high, but not today. But half the time I'm high.
What are you drinking?
Oh,
what are you drinking today?
Today... I am currently drinking an expired Snapple.
It's a diet Snapple. Can you be accurate?
It's a diet Snapple. It's half lemonade, half tea. And so if this is your first time tuning in, I buy all of my beverages at a convenience store called 24/7.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yes, which is a ripoff of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And you can buy a crack pipe there. And
shit.
You can also buy like torch lighters for your crack pipe. And then like a variety of cheap wine, malt liquor, and apparently expired Snapples. But before this, I drank a lime marita, but a big one, a Goliath.
You did not like it.
It was so bad. It was. I didn't check to see if it was expired, but it tasted expired.
Which would you rather drink, the lime marita or the expired diet Snapple?
I mean, I'm literally gonna drink both of them to their entirety.
Right, but
so
if you had to drink one for the rest of your life.
The lime marita.
Nice.
Because this expired Snapple tastes like... it tastes like your grandpa made tea 30 years ago and then forgot about it and is serving it to you. That's what it tastes like.
I don't want to try it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I would offer it, but it's not pleasant. It's bad. It's real bad. What are you drinking today?
It's so nice of you to ask.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I just, every so often.
I'm drinking a good old cup of Joe. I say it every time. I never say that in my life.
No.
There's a microphone and it makes me be like, a good old cup of Joe.
Oh, hello, Joe. How are you doing? You're in a cup today.
That is when I answer the phone and people don't, even some people that do know me, people that don't know me are like, Joe? They always think my name's Joe.
Do they really?
Yeah,
and you're
sounds similar on the phone.
They're like, hi, this is Jill. And they're like,
Joe?
Hi, Joe.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
People always ask me if my name is short for Michaela, which enrages me. Because Michaela's a terrible name.
Well, it's a fine name on it, so it doesn't need to be shortened.
Yeah, like, okay, first of all, Michaela makes no sense. Like, people say, like, okay, no, Michaela's fine. No, you're just used to Michaela. Michaela isn't a good name. Is McJill a good name? It's not. It's not a good name. Like, don't throw a Mick on it.
You're just
like,
offended because they added to your name.
Of course I am.
I have a friend named Michaela, and I like her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's fine, but her parents are dumb. Like, you know, it's not their fault. It's their parents' fault. Sorry, Michaela's parents. You're dumb. But your coffee smells really fucking good in it. What are you adding to it?
Well, right now I'm just drinking the straight coffee. But before, I put spices and coconut oil and collagen peptides.
It literally smelled like fresh gingerbread. It was delicious. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty tasty. And it keeps me full for a little while. Yeah. Which is better than just straight coffee, which just makes me hyper.
Wired and hyper.
Yep. Oh. So that's who we are and what we do and what we're drinking. Our babe score today is 2003.
As Jill said, an excellent year.
Excellent year.
A beautiful vintage.
How old was I?
I was just going to say, what the fuck were you doing in 2003?
I think I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have been a sophomore.
Yeah, because how old was I? I'm not good at math.
Yeah, I would have been a sophomore. No, wait.
A
sophomore, junior, turning into junior.
I literally just said that I would be 22, but that's not true because I'm 30 now, so that's not true.
No, because I would have been like 15.
Yeah, so 88, 98.
You would have been like 14.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So what were you doing at 14?
You mean I was 15?
Oh, what were you doing at 15? Great elder.
I don't know, theater in high school. Working at Kid Valley, probably.
So one of your first jobs working at Kid Valley? That's fucking rad.
Yeah. Yeah, I made some really bomb grilled cheese sandwiches, and there was a guy that had a truck, and he had a Shar-Pei in it every time, and it was the cutest Shar-Pei. And I always loved working in the drive-thru window because I could see the dog.
I believe it. Yeah, at 14, I was just ripping my friends' corn CDs.
Well,
and you know, like rubbing spit off of my Jinko jeans with my thumb. You know, just because you didn't want to wash Jinko jeans because they got a little bit tighter.
No.
So they
needed to
keep
be that flare.
Yeah, they had to be that flowy, loose, dirty material.
I don't know that I would call it flowy, but
mine were flowy. Mine flowed.
I don't think those were Jinko jeans.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, you don't have to call me out for not being able to afford Jinko jeans and instead the off-Lee brand.
I really don't think that it was an accomplishment to afford Jinko jeans.
It wasn't. It meant that you lived in like a half a better apartment than I did growing up.
Anyway, so again, that's who we are and what we do.
That's who we are and what we do and what we were like in 2003. So you're sorry.
Thanks for listening.
I guess.
The movie that we're going to talk about today, I just don't even want to talk about.
I don't either. Like, if we just spent an hour talking about Jinko jeans and what 2003 was like.
What were those dolls called? I really, it's bothering me.
I might fucking Google, but I don't know what to Google. Like, what were the...
internet paper dolls from the Angel Fire days.
Internet paper dolls... From
they were like
Angel Fire days.
It wasn't Bratz, obviously, but
it was similar.
Something like that.
No, this is just bringing up like original paper dolls from. They were like
internet dolls. You changed their clothes.
Internet dolls change clothes.
And yes, everyone that's listening, we are procrastinating. Because this was not a good movie.
Oh, just bringing up Barbies and shit.
If you look at the images and you see one, you might be able to click on it. Like, if you see the image that looks like them.
Yeah, but it's literally just bringing up Barbie dolls.
I know I posted it on my Facebook page, like, last year, because I was reminded about them again.
Did you for fucking real?
But I don't remember if I said what they were called. Anyway, if you remember before us... which is likely, then please email us at iwannawearyourskin
at yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm. If you're not a Patreon subscriber and you want us to shout out your name, join our Patreon. It's patreon.com.
I found them.
Well, yes.
But I can't figure out what they're called.
Click it.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Flashback 15 internet trends from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They were called Dolls with a Z.
Really?
Yes, really.
God, we're idiots.
They were AOL buddy icons. Dolls with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right. Well, those things.
Oh my god. I was so obsessed with these.
What was I saying? Oh, patreon.com/I want to wear your skin.
Yes.
There's 5 different tiers. And they're fun. You get to watch the videos of us while we record, which is fun. Sometimes there are guests that put their hands in the screen.
Oh yeah, God
showed up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times you'll see my dogs. And then there's also a tier where you get added to our private Facebook group and we go live while we watch the movie.
Yeah.
So you can interact with us and watch along or just hear us talk shit.
Which is really where, like, we get most of the riffs from, is from, like, the first watch.
Well, it's for you, at least, it's always a second watch.
Yeah.
I usually watch it twice, and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch this one twice, I have to be honest.
I gotta say, like, the first time I watched it, I thought it was fine. The second time was kind of torture. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it because I hated it? And
no, it was just because, like,
good.
it was a boring movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was a boring, not good movie.
It's just like, what did I learn?
Well,
nothing. I feel like she didn't even learn what we knew from the beginning.
That working with the mob's bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, she didn't learn that. Because she got away, and she got to live a new life, and so we should just get into it, right?
Yeah, the movie's called Wisegal.
It's from 2008, and it's starring Alyssa Milano, who I'm telling you right now, it looks like a beautiful, ageless angel.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, she literally bathes in baby's blood because
she's from 2008.
Yeah, but still.
She was still.
But like 10 years ago, 2008, how old was she? Like late 30s?
Yeah, probably.
Early 40s? Like, she still looks like a fucking 20-year-old in it. It's incredible.
Did do a good job in this movie. Like, I felt like
I don't
like the character, but like she did an alright job.
Yeah, and she produced this one too, or she had some kind of influence on the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, for an Alyssa Milano movie, it probably wasn't the worst.
It really wasn't the worst. It just like it didn't emotionally catch me at even one moment. Like, I just didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that was the problem for me.
And I was really looking forward to this movie because I am such a fucking sucker for mob movies, mob TV shows, The Sopranos. I'm fucking obsessed with it. Just any, like, gritty crime family kind of movie I'm all about, so I was expecting to really enjoy this, but it just wasn't good.
My parents apparently, like, when they first met, had a party at my dad's apartment, and they just got, like, a case of Chianti and watched all 3 Godfather movies.
That's a sick party. That's like a really sick party. Of pasta. That's amazing. Was that a first date or a party?
That was just, like, when they first started dating. It was, like, a small, like, get-together, like, dinner party sort of thing, but... Yeah, I was like, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
Yeah, I would definitely settle down with that dude that threw that party.
I have to say that every time you drink that Snapple, it's hard to watch.
Oh, yeah, because
that it tastes bad.
It's really bad, but I'm going to drink it. All of it. Yeah. All of it. It's like watching someone drink an entire bottle of corked wine. Like, you know they're going to shit their brains out in, like, a few hours, but they're just going to do it.
But here we are.
Here I am.
Do you want to read the synopsis?
I got it. So this is Wisegal, 2008, a business-savvy young widow's romance with a member...
That's so many adjectives.
It is. It really is. A business-savvy young widow's romance. With a member of a Brooklyn crime family, a.k.a. the mob.
Yeah.
But it is funny because we were like, where is this? We don't know where it is the whole time. Draws her further and further into the mob's web of illegal activity.
I mean, I guess that's accurate.
Hey, better than the IMDb synopsis, which I didn't write down, which is just like, a woman is in the mob. Like...
She's a woman!
Oh no, she's the Wisegal.
This is why we don't hire broads.
This is why we don't do it.
That's why you're not in the mob.
Is that not... Would that be suspicious if I was in the mob and spoke
like going
like
over
that?
the Canadian border like, I'm not doing nothing!
Yes, I don't have money strapped to my body.
Check the trunk.
My trunk is full of lasagna. Is that weird? And they'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Also, you're arrested for terrible impersonations.
For being really, like, appropriative somehow. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, if you are an Italian who hates the whole, like, mob culture stereotypes,
don't watch this movie.
Please avoid this movie. It will embarrass you. And
at the
will
end,
feel
the guy actually, and I mean, I don't know how much is accurate because I don't know much about the mob, but like he definitely is wearing a tracksuit at the end with a wife beater and like a medallion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if that's not accurate, he's living up to the stereotype.
That's not accurate, but I feel like I've seen that guy.
Oh,
but then I feel like I've seen that guy in every other mob movie, so maybe it is just a fucking stereotype.
I don't know. Anyway, so it's featuring Alyssa Milano, who you may know from Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2.
Oh my god, I have to pull up more.
You can't remember the other
Oh
ones.
my god, I can't believe you remember. I didn't
wrote it down.
IMDb, Alyssa Milano. So we thought that it would be funny that if we do a movie where there's a famous person that we would only be like, and they're from this
really obscure
thing
short
you've
that they
never
did.
heard of.
What else was she in that people may know about?
Oh my god. Come on, internet.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. She was on some television series.
Oh my god, no, this isn't pulling up any of the fun stuff. Better known from Dinotopia, Quest for the Ruby Sunstone.
Love that one. Yeah, she was great in that.
Or maybe Dickie Roberts, former child star.
People do know that movie.
Do they really?
Yeah, because that was like, what's his name is in it? I don't know.
Oh, well then we shouldn't say the Blink-182 music video Josie then, huh? Because everyone knows that one, right?
But realistically, obviously she was in Charmed. And what was that show? Who's the Boss or something?
Something like that.
That's what she was in?
Yeah, Who's the Boss?
She's been in, I mean, a ton of shit.
Yeah.
So
Not,
you know who Alyssa Milano is.
Yeah, you know, from like Living Dolls and The Canterville Ghost and Commando, you know, all those ones.
James Caan is in it. He's in a bunch of shit, but we didn't write down all the things that he's in.
He's in any Italian mob movie. He's that guy.
He was in The Godfather.
Yeah, and he's the only blonde guy in those Italian movies too, because he's like he looks like an Irish guy, but has a good Italian accent.
So this movie is, the narrator is Alyssa Milano's son. I don't even know which one. Nino? I don't know. What's the other one's name? I literally only know Nino.
They never mentioned the younger son, and I'm assuming that Nino is the older son. It doesn't even mention which son it is, but
I think
Nino
the son
is
actually
adult.
the younger son.
So then, what's the older son's name?
Couldn't tell you.
So who cares?
Joe.
So Joe is narrating this as an adult.
Yeah.
And he's just like, my mother met the devil.
That is how he says it. He also is like, her mother left her at a cathedral, but then she went back.
Yeah. And then picked her back up. Decided against it.
Why even bring it up?
I don't know.
It didn't have any bearing on the
story.
I
think because if she gave up the baby at the cathedral, she could live with her family. But if she kept the baby, she couldn't live with her family anymore. So now, because she decided to keep Patty, She's homeless. They're homeless now.
And then Patty felt like she had to stick around with her mom for the rest of her life. So, like, they've always lived together.
Thieving together.
Her and her mom. I don't think her mom really did anything, did she? Her mom just kind of, like, was like, what are you doing?
I don't think her mom did anything with the mob shit, but I'm sure her mom did some shady shit to make sure they were fed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because...
because they were, like, stealing bread and shit.
Yeah, they were, like, stealing from markets, and
That's
she
right.
stole food from her school, and she was like, hey, Mom, I got lunch.
Thanks, Patty.
I don't...
So then, they, like, show her growing up and learning how to be scrappy. And then she meets a guy. Oh, they're, like, in a train station, and this dude comes over. He's like, I got you lunch. And she's like, let's get married. So they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have 2 kids. And then this dude, like, kind of holds his chest. She's like, are you okay? He's like, I'm fine. And then just dies.
Yeah, collapses, and then the narrator, her son's just like, he had cancer. He had cancer for 2 years, and then they lost their life savings.
Yeah, so then they're hella broke, and she doesn't have, like, a job or anything. She's got 2 little kids and her mom.
Yeah, and she's also trying to, like, plan a traditional Italian Catholic ceremony funeral for her husband.
Right.
Well broke as shit. And,
Those caskets are not cheap.
Right? And when arranging the funeral for her husband, she meets this guy named Frank Russo, who works for the funeral home.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's where they first meet. And he comes over to essentially, like, get payment from her.
Mm-hmm.
And she negotiates the price while also giving him a hard time for, like, you're charging a racket for this funeral, like, you're bleeding people dry kind of bullshit. And Frank is charmed by her mouthiness.
Yeah.
And decides... oh, and she kicks him out of the house. Like, at the end of the conversation, she's like, get the fuck out of my house. You're just a leech looking for money. And he just finds her charming and sweet. And...
well, you know that when you like someone, you have to be mean to them.
yeah. Yeah, which will come into play... over and over in this movie. Yeah, that's the running theme.
So then she, like, brings the payment to him, and he's like, nah, I don't want it. And she's like, no, you take it. He's like, how about you work for it? And, like, work for me.
Yeah.
And I think she says no at that point, right?
Yeah, because she's like, what am I going to do in a funeral, Paula?
And then that conversation's over.
Oh, yeah.
And then she meets Jimmy, and he's like, why don't you sell my cigarettes?
Yeah, because Jimmy's full name is Jimmy Limo, so he's totally above board, right, guys?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, that sounds legit. Okay, I'll do that. And then this FBI guy is like, hey, you have to pay taxes on that shit. She's like, what?
Yeah.
But, okay. And so she takes all the cartons of cigarettes and drops them in front of Jimmy's house. And before that, Frank had threatened some dude that owned a restaurant. And then instead of killing him, he's like, give me your restaurant. And the guy was like, okay.
Yeah, because it was either
fine,
that
Frank.
or he was going to screw his eyeballs out with the drill.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll screw your eyes and I'll screw your heart and I'll screw it all.
He said, I'll put the screwdriver through your brain and then your heart and then your eyeballs, as if he'll feel anything after the brain.
Yeah, I mean, it should really be in reverse, right?
If you're trying to torture him, I mean
I'm not an expert, but...
Are you?
Well, you know.
So then Frank goes to Patty and he's like, hey, I got this restaurant. Don't ask me how. You want to run it? She's like, yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and if you're confused why he would have this stranger woman that he just met when he was forcing funeral money out of him to run a restaurant for him, you're correct, because we also don't fucking know why he would think that was a good idea, and his associates want to know why as well, and he's just like... Cause I trust her.
Yeah, it's like...
Cause I know her.
It's like when you ask your parents why something, they're like, you just listen, I just say cuss.
Yeah.
And it's like, alright, Frank. Cool.
So...
Then I don't know.
So then, essentially, she really throws herself into the whole restaurant thing with a gusto. She meets this character named June, who we don't then meet again throughout the entirety of the movie, which is too bad, because June seems cool. June's a no-nonsense lady who's been working for this mob-run restaurant for years and kind of knows the way around it.
She gets how the mob works.
Yeah.
She's, well, sort of.
Sort of. As anyone does in this Lifetime movie. And so, Patty has these big ideas, like she's gonna change this Italian restaurant into a bar. And then, no, not a bar, she's gonna turn it into a nightclub. And then it's gonna be a nightclub that features drag performances, which I'm cool with. That sounds like a great business plan. I like to go to bars with drag performances.
When she brings it up to Frank and all of his associates, and they're like, nah. She's like, that bar that does that in wherever, they make 10 grand a night. And the guy's like, all right.
Because homophobia is a really big part of this movie. So that's the reason why they don't want to do the nightclub with drag performances at first, is because who the fuck would come and watch drag performances? And that they, as a mob, don't want to be associated with a gay nightclub.
Right.
And so she has to be like, well, this other gay nightclub in the West Village clears 10 grand. And then they're like, oh, well, yeah, we're fine. We're fine with gay people now. It's totally fine.
If we're going to make money, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to exploit people, then I guess we're fine with it. So that happens.
So then she opens it up, and they have these performers, and because they're entertained, all the guys are chill with it. They're like, all right, this is okay.
Yeah.
It's a huge success. And they don't really explain, like, it seems like it wouldn't have been a success. Like, it didn't seem like that neighborhood would have been that...
A nightclub neighborhood? No, not at all.
Yeah, but there's, like, a line around the block. Like, they don't really explain why it's successful, even though she doesn't really know anybody there.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm glad that it is, and it would be... It looks awesome inside, and it looked like it would be really fun, but it's just, there's no, like, backstory for anything.
Yeah, they only needed to have this business operating for fucking laundering money, so it didn't even need to be a success. It just...
Well, she didn't know that.
But she did!
Did she know that it was all about laundering money?
Well,
later.
Well, later, but she knew that it was run by the mob.
Did she?
Kinda.
I mean, she should have.
I mean, the FBI...
I don't know that she did.
But the FBI agent came to her house and was like, Jimmy Limo works for Frank Russo, who's in the mob, who works for Sal. And, like,
I feel like she didn't get it.
And she graduated from Jimmy Limo to Frank Russo to open up this club.
I know. I know. So then Sal, the, like, main dude, is like, hey, I want to talk to you. She's like, all right. And he's like, I need some money from people in Canada, and I want you to go get that money for me. And basically he wants her to be a mule for this money.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll do it once and see how I feel.
Which, you don't, okay, so.
You don't just do something, I mean, listen, again, I don't really know how the mob works. I'm not trying to make any enemies in this world. I don't understand it. But it doesn't seem like you just do one thing for the mob one time.
No.
And they say that in the end of the movie. They're like, you don't get out of the mob.
Well, yeah, because when the devil comes knocking, you don't. The devil's gonna keep fucking coming back. Also, right after the opening of the nightclub, Frank Russo, the mob guy, and Patty start a romantic relationship.
Oh, that's right.
Frank Russo is married with children. In fact, he has an adult child who is also a member of the mob called Mouse.
Yep.
He comes on and off throughout the movie the whole time, just as a secondary.
He sells drugs.
Yeah. Which we later find out is actually a big no-no in the mob community.
In this movie mob community.
Community. So they continue on years-long affairs where he's, like, at the house and he's, like...
he, like, gets an apartment for her and her family and, like, lives there.
Yeah, he's, like, 100%
at one point,
invested.
she comes to the house and his wife is like, you get him 7 nights a week. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Every night?
So why are you even married? Once again, we don't know.
No one really gets a full character here.
But she continues to be a cash mule. We don't...
Yeah, I know.
We don't know how frequently it is. We don't know if it's a weekly thing or a monthly thing.
He said that it was once a month.
So it's once a month. Oh, okay. So it's a once a month thing. And she does that once a month for over 6 years.
Yeah. Then, at some point, I think, like, maybe after the first time, she, like, comes home. She's trying to get her kids to school. And Frank gets them bikes because he's Mr. Nice Guy. And then, like, they have some party for something, and her little kid, Nino, like, goes and wants to ride his bike around the neighborhood. He's stolen, I think, Jimmy's cufflinks or something.
Yeah.
And he goes, and he finds Mouse, and Mouse is like, you shouldn't be here. And he's like, whatever, Mouse. And then he, like, goes through this alleyway that he saw Mouse come out of, and their local grocer is dead behind a car. Mm-hmm. And the police are like, well, how'd you know that this body was here? Like, how'd you find it? And he gives Frank's name. And then they all have to go down to the police station and talk about it. And it's just... God, I just couldn't care less, to be honest. This movie is just rough.
Yeah, because then this is where you see that Alyssa Milano's character is more involved with the mob because she's telling her son to be quiet and making excuses for him. So this is where you really see that, like, she isn't this just, like, naive bystander who's trying to provide for her family, but she's very much aware of what this crime family is doing in her community.
Well, it seems like at this point she gets what the consequences could be, and so she's so far in it that she, you know...
And after they leave the police station with the police not really able to press charges because they don't give him anything, Frank threatens her son. Like, hey, if you speak anything, like, essentially, like, I'll beat the shit out of you. And she's like, you won't touch my child.
Yeah.
So that's where we really see that, like, Patty's character has her line, her ethical line is with her children. Everything else is fine.
Yeah.
But don't fuck with her children.
No.
Affair is fine. Cheating's fine. Stealing's fine. Money laundering's fine. Muling's fine.
Doesn't like him fucking with his own kid. Because, like, she, in that process, she learns that that Mouse has been dealing drugs.
Yeah.
And she confronts them at Frank's house where, like, his actual wife lives. And Frank confronts his son and, like, tries to beat his ass. And she's like, you can't do that. Like, don't hurt your son. Blah, blah, blah. And then his wife comes in and she's all pissed off. So, like, she's all about the kids, I guess.
I guess. Yeah, once again, I guess.
I don't know. Then... someone tells her, is it Sal, that she has to take June to Canada with her?
Yes, because it's not June, it's Sal's wife.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so Sal's like, hey, my wife needs a vacation. You're already going up to Canada. Yeah. So can you take my wife with you? She needs a getaway. Which is just like, just make her take his wife on a vacation to Canada another time.
An actual vacation, not the time when I have to... you'll, like, take money across the border.
Yeah. So it turns out that Sal's wife has a real bad coke problem. Yeah. And is just sucking up blow through her nose like a fucking elephant.
In the middle of the car, like, while they're driving to the border.
In daylight. And Patty's just like, you know, okay, like, I know you want to have a good time, but you're going to have to get rid of that blow before it cross the border. And she's like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, really, you're going to have to fucking get rid. And she has to throw it out the window for her.
Because she's like, no, I want to party. This is my first vacation in forever. She's like, I don't give a fuck. We're going across the border. Like, you can't bring blow, dude.
Yeah, because nothing says a vacation like being held in federal prison at the border.
Oh my gosh. So then they go over the border, and they're, like, at some clothing store because I don't think June knows what they're doing. Like, she thinks that they're just going on a shopping trip.
Yeah.
And they're in this store, and Patty looks out, and she sees this dude that she thinks has been following them. And June's like, what? I can't, like, fool around? I've been seeing him since we got across the border. And Patty's like, yeah, that's not good. Like, he's following us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your husband, the mob boss, asked me to take you on a vacation. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take you on a vacation where you cheat on the big mob boss that kills people.
So then she goes to do the drop or get the money or whatever, and the police show up. Or the Mounties? I don't know. They're in Canada.
They're in Canada.
But whatever. Like, the authorities show up. And one of them, I don't know if he was, like, tipped off or what, but he just, like, is escorting her out, but then is like, here's a bathroom, go in the bathroom. And she fucking escapes. Like, he helps her escape, but it's never really explained if that was intentional. Like, he acts like it's not, but it was a weird, I don't know. Anyway, so she escapes. She finds June. She's like, we have to get out of here now. Get all your shit together. And she's like, what? And she's like, you have to carry the money across the border. Here's how we're going to do it. If you don't, we're both going to die. And June's like, I have anxiety. And Patty's like, bummer. Like,
yeah, suck it up.
We're going to die. You got to do this. Call me at the club when you get back across the border. Somehow she beats her, like, by a lot.
Yeah, and no one understands why, and that also makes Patty suspicious to the mob.
Right.
Because, like, why did you get here so fast? Where is the rest of the money?
Yeah, and Frank gets real pissed at her because she's like, here's the plan that I came up with. And he's like, that's not how you do it. And his friends are kind of defending Patty, and Frank's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, and so just, like, so, like, obviously, like, Frank has never been a good guy. He's cheating on his wife. He's not a great, like, male figure to children. He's also a part of this mob family. But, like, Frank has always been, like, nice and charming and reasonable. And then for no reason, in the middle to final act of this movie, he turns unreasonable, jealous, raging, and just cruel, I would say. Like, he turns into an abuser.
Well, I mean, that's definitely part of his character, and I think that, like, the pressure starts to come on him towards the end of the movie, and so he's probably, like, fearing for his life consistently, and that's bringing out all of these really awful qualities about him and, like, enhancing them.
Yeah.
Is what it seems like.
That's fair.
Not fair in the sense of, like, he can act this way, but in terms of, like...
No, yeah. It's just, like, but the problem is that that's not explained in this movie.
Nothing's explained in this movie.
Very well. So just all of a sudden he's this nice, charming Italian mobster to this abusing Italian mobster pretty quickly.
Oh, and I think it's Frank that's talking to her, but maybe it's Sal, and they're like, shouldn't have hired a broad for this. Yeah. And then he's like, you should try a helping profession. Why don't you be a nurse or something? Because that's all women are good for. Did you know?
Are helping professions.
That's it.
Yeah, that's... Yep. That's what I know.
Anyway, then Mouse, Frank's son, shows up to Patty's house, and he's like, has a black eye, and he's really scared. He's like, I don't really know what to do. I think they're after me. I think I'm gonna get killed. And Patty's like, you're gonna be fine. You should go talk to your dad. And he's like, I don't think so. And she doesn't figure it out until he's left that Frank's the one that beat him up.
Yeah, which I don't understand. But once again, what is there to understand about this fucking movie? So she doesn't think anything of it until she sees Mouse's obituary in the fucking paper. And then it's Mouse's funeral, and she goes to the funeral but doesn't attend it. She stands outside and across the street in Audrey Hepburn glasses and trench coats. Well, yeah, she's the mistress. Yeah, she's the mistress. She can't go. I mean, and his wife knows that she's her husband's mistress. But she goes and she watches the funeral, and she's approached by the FBI agent who's just like, yo, Frank did all this. Do you really want him with your boys? Do you really think that this is going to end well? You should come over to our side. We'll get you witness protection. We'll take care of you.
Do you think this movie is like an allegory for Star Wars?
What?
Like the good and the bad side?
Sure. I guess. I didn't think about it that way. But,
Listen, I feel like I'm just trying to make sense of it all.
And you're just doing it by any means necessary?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, this is the good, the bad, and the ugly right here. And why not a bit of Star Wars, too?
It would have been better if they had, like, added aliens or something, honestly.
Yeah. Yes, or a gunfight scene.
Or anything.
Or a chupacabra. Or a werewolf. Or it turns out they were all vampires. Yes, I agree.
Or they're all ghosts. This isn't real life.
Honestly, all I could think about while we were watching this movie is that I'm going to go home and I'm going to order a pizza. Like, that's still all I'm thinking. Like, after we record this stupid fucking movie, I'm going to order myself a goddamn pizza.
We should order a pizza next time we watch.
We should.
Why are we not treating ourselves? We're watching these piece of shit movies.
Yeah.
Not all of them, okay?
No, but this one was dumb and boring.
It just... Anyway, so then... Yeah, so Mouse gets killed. The FBI agent wants to help her get out of the mob. Like, he knows that she's in it. They've been friends forever. He's like, Frank is marked, which means that he's the next to die. And then
which is crazy because he just killed his son for the mob.
Doesn't mean shit. They just needed him to do it.
Yeah.
Then he's like, that means that you're marked too. Like, you're gonna die also.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, shit, I gotta figure something out. She runs into June. June got beat up. And she's like, Sal's really paranoid right now. Like, you gotta watch yourself. He's gonna kill you. I thought he was gonna kill me. And she tells her that Sal had Frank kill his son.
Mm-hmm.
And Patty's not that fazed by it.
No.
I mean, she's upset, but she's just kind of like,
Yeah, and after this, like, it doesn't... We don't know when in the timeline, but she goes home one of these nights, and Frank is on her porch. And he's a wreck, and he's obviously disheveled and been crying. And she's like, what's up? And he's like, oh, well, my wife just won't stop cleaning the house. She's losing her mind cleaning the house, and I can't be there. And it's like, so your wife is grieving painfully because her son died a tragic death, and you can't even be there comforting her. You go to your mistress's house.
It's like, just let me not deal with it. Like, why are you making me deal with it by cleaning the fucking house?
Yep.
Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
All right? I killed him. I should be the one that gets to grieve.
Oh, God.
So then, I think Sal tells Patty that he wants her to kill Frank, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when Sal comes to her and just like, look, I need you to take care of Frank, and she resists, and he's like, hey, Frank didn't give me this hard of a time when I asked him to take care of his son, and you're just killing your, I was gonna say mister, because that would be the other of mistress.
Your lover?
Your lover. Okay, so the dude has a mistress.
And you're the mistress, what is the dude?
Yeah, what's the dude?
I don't know. The dude who's married to someone else that you're fucking.
Yeah, the dude you're porking. That's it. Don't forget about our porking analogy.
Oh my god.
And this is when I stopped writing notes, because I really did stop caring about this movie.
I wish I hadn't written one note. Anyway, so then Patty kind of comes up with a plan to... Oh my god, Kayla. I can't even put the notes down. I can't even put the notes down. You should have fucking written it down.
You should have written it down.
She comes up with a plan to leave Frank. She, like, makes a plan with her mom. She gives the kids this note to take to the FBI if she doesn't pick them up. And she drops them off at school. The kids, like, catch wind of what's going on and fuck up the plan immediately.
Yep.
And then Patty, I don't know, does something. The grandma ends up pulling a gun on Frank. Patty shows up for no reason. She goes to Sal and she's like, listen, I want to get out of the mob. And he, like, almost says he's going to kill her and there's no getting out. And then is just like, okay.
Okay, bye.
He's, like, in the middle of, like, coming up with something about killing her. And he's like, all right.
See you later.
You can just go. That's fine.
That's fine. That's what the mob's known for. Letting people live. One day leave.
So then she leaves, and then all of a sudden the son, who's the narrator, is like, and 3 years later, Frank died from cancer. Sal went to jail. Everyone else either died or went to jail. June OD'd, and we lived happily ever after.
And witness protection. And it's like, okay. Oh, okay. All right.
That's it?
That's it. The movie's over. So...
Caleb, what did you learn?
I learned that you can join a mob and get your own drag nightclub and then make a bunch of money going to Canada and then just leave with no repercussions.
Like, she didn't get beat up once.
No.
None of her family died.
No.
She just got a bunch of money.
Uh-huh.
She got protected by the police. Like,
yeah.
She got the most cherry deal.
Yeah, so, like, is this an option with the mob? Like, I gotta know, for a friend, not myself, is this how the mob works? Like...
Again, I need to point out, we don't know how the mob works. No.
Do you? I don't, like, does anyone know how the mob works? Was this movie
accurate at all?
Yeah, like, you just get in,
Then you get out.
You do a bunch of felonies, you know everyone's guilty, and then...
The police know you're a part of it.
Yeah,
and then they protect you.
You leave with no repercussions.
Maybe she was an undercover agent the whole time and they just never revealed it.
That's giving this movie way too much credit.
I know, but that would be the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, or what if she was a vampire and...
Are her kids also vampires?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were baby vampires, and
Aww.
This was like a blood smuggling cash ring from Canada.
Oh my God.
And then, like...
Of course it was.
They were like, global warming's making the sun come out more, so... we gotta get into witness protection, and then they did, and that was this...
I think you solved it.
I think I did, so...
If anyone can confirm that that's what happens with the mob...
Yeah.
Vampires.
Yeah, vampires.
We'd love to know. Ugh.
So how many fleece blankets would you give this?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, production value, it actually looked great.
It looked like a fucking great movie, right?
The acting wasn't that bad. Like, it was fine.
We've seen worse.
It's just, it was, I don't know. And maybe it was just because I am under the weather and, like, tired, but it just I didn't feel anything for it. And
it didn't.
I was bored.
It didn't suck anything out of me either.
The only fun part was when they had the performance at the club. That was like the only part that I liked.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone who performs a version of R.E.S.P.E.C.T. kind of wins me over.
It was weird that they then played the song in the car later. Like, I know that's what they sang at the club. Like, you could just pick a different song.
No. There is no other song. They probably just bought the rights to that song, and then they were like, we have to use this song more than once because it was so expensive.
I'd give it 2 fleece blankets.
Oh, that's generous. See, I'm going to give it 1 because, I mean, you are right. Like, I mean, Alyssa Milano is ageless. This movie was filmed in 2008, but it looks like it was filmed in 2018. The production value is really high in it.
It does look great.
But it is all wasted because no one gives a fucking shit about this plot. Like, no one. What
was the plot? She gets into the mob and then leaves. Like,
I don't know.
She didn't even have any consequences.
But yeah, like, there was no fear of life. She
just skates by, which is great, but, like, it's not a fucking plot. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's just on the periphery of a bunch of shit. That's it.
That's literally what it was. Like, a lady who kind of did some things but really didn't, almost gets caught but not really and didn't, and then she leaves. Okay, bye.
And I mean, she was
What?
like a cool character in the sense that she really wasn't afraid of anybody. Like,
No,
I did like her.
She was mouthy and independent, and I appreciated that, and I think there were so many other things that they could have done.
It wasn't
with that
even
kind
like,
of movie.
It was definitely misogynist, but it wasn't even like overly.
No.
It was just so across the like aboard mediocre that I just feel nothing.
I guess the kind of movie that I want to watch with a mouthy independent lady who likes crime is a mouthy independent lady who's running her own crime ring.
Yeah.
Or is in charge of her own mini universe of crime.
Or is a vampire.
Or is a vampire in a blood trafficking ring.
Yes.
And it's Alyssa Milano.
Yes.
Bathing in the blood of children, which is why she doesn't have a single fucking wrinkle on her goddamn face.
Yes, I want to watch
so,
that movie.
yeah, you know, like, let's make that movie. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna give this literally one fleece blanket because I'm so disappointed in this movie.
We're really sorry, everyone.
Yeah, we're sorry. I mean, I feel like this wasn't a banger. I'm not excited about it.
And I know I'm not drinking, but I don't think that would have helped.
My Limerita did fucking nothing for this. I feel like I wasted a Limerita.
I kind of think you did.
I feel like this expired Snapple is this movie. I feel like this is the drink that you want to have for this movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like, is an expired Snapple.
I want to get everything out of my body after this movie.
Yeah, like, it could be so good, but it was so
it's
bad,
just not.
and it's going to give you diarrhea.
Yeah. So I don't know what we're going to watch next, but God, I hope it's better than this.
Maybe.
But probably not.
Probably not.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
If you want to watch us talk about this or watch the videos of us watching the movie, join our Patreon.
Do it.
You can also see Kayla put her feet in spaghetti, and we're just waiting for someone to want that, and I don't understand why.
It's so weird that no one's
yet.
like, I don't want that, when I just have two chubby manicured feet waiting to soak in a bowl of spaghetti. Delicious.
We also today, the day that we're recording, released an extra bonus episode for our Patreon subscribers, which is it's a version of Truth or Drink, but really it's just Truth and Drink.
Yeah.
From my birthday, where Kayla admits to things that
I
hope the mob never hears.
I admit to like 4 felonies in that Truth or Drink episode, which is unnerving how willing I'm just like, yeah, and then I did this, and then I did that. And I hope the statute of limitations has run out.
So, if you want to hear about Kayla's confessions and some of mine, then join our Patreon.
Do it!
I think it's at the 2 fleece blanket
level.
It
is. Like, literally for $2 a month, you get actually a ton of access to behind-the-scenes stuff, extra content.
The two fleece blanket is $5
Yes.
a month.
Oh, wait, it is?
Yeah, the 1 fleece blanket is $2
Thank you. Yeah, that's
2
right.
2 fleece blanket is $5.
There's too many numbers involved here.
Yeah.
You know I'm not good at it.
That's why I'm here.
I know. That's why Jill runs this shit.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
I guess.
Yeah, really sorry.
Yeah, really
we'll do
sorry
better
about
next
this.
time. But don't drink expired Diet Snapple.
Or keep doing it like I am.
I
feeling fine.
Do whatever you want.
Gonna get a pizza after
World's
this.
A trash fire.
The world's a trash fire. Bye.
I'm Jill.
And I'm Kayla.
We are.
I wanna wear your skin.
Bye.